Hey George, firstly, are you okay? How are you feeling? Because it was quite an impact.
Yeah, quite an impact. Feeling fine, thank you. Disappointed, upset, frustrated for everyone really. We would have scored points today. The car was fast, and obviously, going for an overtake on a Mercedes, I don't think Williams has done that for a long time. So pleased, but ultimately, yeah, frustrated.
So you were furious by the sounds of it and by the looks of it. You've seen some replays yet. Would you still feel the same?
It's between all of the drivers, we've had this gentleman's agreement that when there's a faster car approaching with the DRS, you don't jolt the steering wheel at the very last moment. I pulled out. I got the slipstream. I pulled out, and just as I pulled out, Valtteri moved very slightly, and that just put me offline and put me onto the wet stuff. And in perfectly dry conditions on a very not ordinary circuit, it's dangerous, let alone on a very narrow track when we are turning and there's wet patches. So an unfortunate incident, but equally it's been inevitable. An incident like that would occur when drivers make small moves like this, and it's the smallest of moves, but when you're going at 220 miles an hour and you're going 30 miles an hour quicker than the car ahead, it's massive.
What went through your mind when that happened, especially at the speed in which you were going?
Well, obviously I was very off and frustrated with him at the time. I'm fighting for P9. A P9 for him is absolutely nothing, almost meaningless. And he did a move that you would do if you were fighting for victory on the last lap of the race. So, it begs the question why he would do that for P9, and perhaps if it was another driver, he wouldn't have. So, that's what went through my mind. Like I said, he's not fully to blame. I don't think I'm fully to blame, but it could have been avoided. And I think this is a good example for the stewards that any very minor movements like this will create crashes, and here we are.
Are you going to have a chat to him? Because his view is that it was more your fault than his fault.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure that when he's within the car, he's going in a straight line and done a little move to the right, and next thing, I'm in the side of him. I'm sure from his perspective, he feels like it's my fault. I've got no doubt about that. But equally, he knows the closing speeds of these cars when you're behind slipstream and DRS, and he knows that is not the correct thing to be doing. And like I said, if you're fighting for the victory in the last lap of the race, maybe, but not in conditions like this, and not mid-race when he's in P9, which is nothing.
Nicky, I'd argue this weekend up until this race has been one of your strongest in Formula One, and it just didn't quite work out in the race, did it?
Yeah, in the end, not the result we want, not even to do any laps of the race. For sure, very frustrating from my side. For sure, it was my mistake in very, very tricky conditions. I had the first off, and then tried to come back on the track from the left side. Obviously, the kind of line naturally takes you to the right of the track, so I tried to come on, staying on the painted side. And then I just felt that when I rejoined the track, I got a kick of wheel spin, but I don't know, I've been told now that I had contact with Mazepin multiple times, which I haven't seen any replay yet, so I didn't even see Mazepin. I thought I was the last car on track because I saw Vettel going by. I know he was starting from the pit lane, so I assumed he was thereabouts the last car. But anyways, yeah, I haven't seen anything else, so I need to see the replay to, yeah.
How tricky were those conditions out there?
Yeah, it was very tricky. I mean, to be honest, with the laps of the grid, it looked, obviously it was difficult, it was wet, but I would say that was probably the most dangerous half a lap I've ever done in any of my driving. I mean, the spray was the worst I've ever seen it. Could not see anything up until the moment I obviously had the first off. I'm just a bit surprised because normally, when we don't get any running in the wet, the race would normally start under safety car, and we have these new rules now that allow you to then restart standing start, at least for the proper excitement, which is fine. And I think it maybe would have been a benefit to at least give the drivers an opportunity to see what they were going to get with other cars on track. Because again, like I said, it was the most dangerous half a lap I've done it in the spray. I could not see anything. You could not see the rain light of the car that was right in front of you. So yeah, I mean, a bit unfortunate. Obviously, in the end, it was still my mistake. So really sorry for the team for that. But yeah, it's just one of those things you got to move on from.
Is it particularly frustrating given you're quite far up the grid? George is in the top 10 at the moment, and points might have been on the table today.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general we qualified in a good position, further up than I've normally qualified. So yeah, for sure that was the hopes, and we knew with the weather conditions the way it was, there was going to be some opportunity. My goal was to try and just stay on the track and just kind of take it easy, but it's just one of those things. You're cruising around that they're so slow, but the grip is so low you can't see anything. Just got a little bit of locking, and you just skate off the track. There's really nothing you can do about it.